linear functions, we have these two types of equations here. We talked about slope-intercept form in the past as well as point-slope form. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where you do have the slope, which is m, and our y-intercept, which is b. And then with point slope form, that's y minus y1 equals m times the quantity of x minus x1. So essentially, you really need a point. You need a point, which is in the form x sub 1, comma, y sub 1. And our slope, of course, that's going to be represented as m. And then you're going to take that and convert that into slope-intercept form. Okay, so let's take a look at number 8 here. Write a linear equation that is parallel to y equals negative 4x minus 3 and passes through 2, comma 4. So since it's parallel, we're going to be dealing with same slope. Same slope. So I'm looking at y equals negative 4x minus 3. Okay? There must be another equation that is parallel to this slope that we have from our problem. So if the original slope is negative 4, right? Our m for our original is negative 4, then our parallel slope, since it has to be the same, is also negative 4. Okay? So now what I can do is I can work with this slope and point. We have our point here, so we have a point and a slope. I can use that point slope form. Okay, so y minus y1 equals m times the quantity of x minus x1. We're going to label this x1, and we're going to label that y1. So I'm going to write this formula out again. And then I'm going to start plugging things in. So it's y minus y1, which is 4, equals our m, which is negative 4, times the quantity of x minus 2, which is our x1. We're going to go ahead and distribute the negative 4 to each term. So negative 4 times x is negative 4x, and negative 4 times negative 2, that's going to be positive 8. So now I'm going to add both sides by 4 here to get y by itself. This is our goal, to get it to, become y equals mx plus b. So y equals negative 4x. Positive 8 plus 4, that's plus 12. That's our answer. Y equals negative 4x plus 12. Okay. Number 9, write a linear equation that is perpendicular to y equals negative 2x minus 3, and it passes through the point 2, comma 1. So whenever I see the word perpendicular, that means opposite sign, flip your fraction. So this here is our original equation, and it has the slope of negative 2. But our perpendicular slope, what we need to do is we need to change the sign, and since this is negative, our new slope is going to become positive. And this negative 2, by the way, is essentially the same thing as negative 2 over 1. So our perpendicular slope, we just have to flip the fraction now. So this becomes 1 over 2. Okay? So we have our point, and we have our slope. This is x1, this is y1, and we're going to go ahead and apply that point slope formula again, right? So y minus y1 equals m times the quantity of x minus x1. So y minus 1 equals positive 1/2 times the quantity of x minus, so our x1 is 2, right? All right, so we're going to distribute the 1/2 to each term. But on the left-hand side, we're going to keep that as y minus 1 for now, which is equal to 1/2 times x. So that's 1/2 x. And then I have 1/2 times -2. Essentially, that's just the same way of saying what's a half of -2. Well, a half of -2 is -1 or -1. And then I can go ahead and solve for y here. So y equals 1/2 x. And then the -1 and the +1 will go away. They cancel each other out. So you're left with y equals 1/2 x. That's your answer.